Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Nara Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Neshtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for the Bhagavatam reading class. So we were at 20th shloka. We just completed the 20th shloka. And we will move on to the 21st shloka. Give me just 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, okay? Just 1 minute. Yeah. I'm just sharing the screen with you all. Yeah. So after Brahma is actually comparing him, he's like, Brahma is actually telling Narad Muni that how actually Lord is greater than me. So there's a comparison between Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva, that Brahma is also created by him only. And the transcendental Lord accepted the three gunas through his Maya Shakti. And just give me 1 minute. Sorry, dear devotees, there was an important call. So then Lord Brahma is saying that these gunas are also behind the jivas, because these gunas further they are manifesting as matter, knowledge, and all these activities like dravya, gyan, and kriya. And then they put this conditioned soul under this bondage. And this jiva cannot see the Lord because this jiva is covered by these gunas. So then, to answer to the third question of Narad Muni, where he's asking, Yad Shrishtam, how is this universe created? What is the process of creation? So then Lord Brahma, from the 21st shloka, will now start speaking that how the Lord glances on the material energy Maya, and it infuses it with time, karma, swabhava, and how this process goes ahead. So it says, Kalam karma swabhavam cha mayesho mayaya swaya Atman yadrichaya praptam vibhush vibhu vibhubhush purusha padade. Sushil Prabhu, please read the translation and purport both.
Hare Krishna. Translation: The Lord, who is the controller of all energies, thus creates by his own potency, eternal time, the fate of all living entities and their particular nature for which they are created, and he again merges them independently. Purport: The creation of the material world, wherein the conditioned souls are allowed to act subordinately by the Supreme Lord, takes place again and again after being repeatedly annihilated. The material creation is something like a cloud in the unlimited sky. The real sky is the spiritual sky, eternally filled with the rays of the Brahmajyoti, and a portion of this unlimited sky is covered by the Mahatattva cloud of the material creation, in which the conditioned souls who want to lord it against the will of the Lord are put into play as they desire under the control of the Lord by the agency of his external energy. As the rainy season appears and disappears regularly, the creation takes place and is again annihilated under the control of the Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad-gītā 8.19. So the creation and annihilation of the material, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Material world is a regular action of the Lord just to allow the conditioned souls to play as they like and thereby create their own fate of being differently created again in terms of their independent desires at the time of annihilation. The creation therefore takes place at a historical date, as we are accustomed to think of everything which has a beginning in our tiny experience. The process of creation and annihilation is called anadi, or without reference to date, regarding the time the creation first took place, because the duration even a partial creation, I think Mataji 8 billion or something. Okay, some yes, Mataji. The law of creation is, however, as mentioned in the Vedic literatures, that it creates at certain intervals and is again annihilated by the will of the Lord. The whole material or even the spiritual creation is a manifestation of the energy of the Lord, just as the light and heat of a fire are different manifestations of the fire's energy. The Lord therefore exists in his impersonal form by such expansion of energy, and the complete creation rests on his impersonal feature. Nonetheless, he keeps himself distinct from such creation as the bonum or complete, and so no one should wrongly think that his personal feature is not existent due to his impersonal unlimited expansion. The personal expansion is a manifestation of his energy, and he is always in his personal feature despite his innumerable unlimited expansion of impersonal energies. Bhagavad-gītā 9.5 to 7. For human intelligence, it is very difficult to conceive how the whole creation rests on his expansion of energy, but the Lord has given a very good example in the Bhagavad-gītā. It is said that although the air and the atoms rest within the large expansion of the sky, which is like the resting reservoir of everything materially created, still the sky remains separate and unaffected. Similarly, although the Supreme Lord maintains everything created by his expansion of energy, he will always remain separate. This is accepted even by the Shankaracharya, the great advocate of the impersonal form of the Absolute. He says, Narayana Paro Avyaktat, or Narayana exists separately apart from the impersonal creative energy. The whole creation thus merges within the body of transcendental Narayana at the time of annihilation, and the creation emanates from his body again with the same unchanging categories of fate and individual nature. The individual living entities, being part and parcel of the Lord, are sometimes described as Atma, qualitatively one in spiritual constitution, But because such living entities are apt to be attracted to the material creation, actively and subjectively, they are therefore different from the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So, if you see over here, this particular shloka, I'm just taking help of this shloka, okay, to explain. So, Mayesho, Maya Ishaha. So this who is the Lord of Maya? He is what? Vibhushaha. So he is appearing differently. Okay, so the one Lord desiring to become many, and then he is saying that Yad Richaya. He's saying independently. So by his own will, he's saying that by his own will, he accepted three things. He accepted what? He accepted kalam, he accepted karma, and he accepted swabhavam also. So he accepted time, he accepted, yeah. So, because if you see, Kala is his own Shakti. So he accepts Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti. And this Jiva Shakti is endowed with actually two aspects. One is karma, and that is second is Swabhava. So then, because um, hmm, the Lord by his own will only accepts Kal and Karma and Swabhava. So it means that he accepted the Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti, and Jiva Shakti is endowed with Karma and Swabhava, but he accepted them through the agency of Maya. So when it is said that the Lord glanced at the Parasha Shakti, okay, sorry, the Lord glanced at Prakriti. So what constitutes that glance is actually indicated in this verse. So when the Lord glances at the Pradhana or Prakriti, it includes to make a construction site, and the Lord glances like the key to, you can say, the locked or the closed go down that opens the go down. And once the go down gets opened, the ingredients needed for constructing can flow out of the go down, and then the construction process can start. So the pradhan is like an inactive state, and the three gunas are also inactive. So I'll just explain how it is, okay, hierarchy wise how it is. Just give me 1 minute, okay, just give me 1 minute. I actually just beg apologies, but I should have done this homework first, but I'm sorry. I was doing some other homework. Give me 1 minute, okay? Because if I'll explain with the diagram, no, that will become very easy. It will become very swift for you all also. Unfortunately, I closed my WhatsApp because it was ringing a lot. One minute, okay? It's taking time to load in. Okay, there we are. I hope. I have put this on the, what do you say? Our group also, okay? WhatsApp group also I've put it on. Okay, I'm sharing the same now. Just increasing the size of the. Okay. I need a hand tool over here where I can explain it properly. So over here, if you see over here Karnodaksha Vishnu. Okay, so Karnodaksha Vishnu is actually Lord's Swa Amsha. Swa Amsha. Amsha means planary portion. So from Krishna comes Balaram. From the left, from the right wing comes Lord Balaram. From Lord Balaram comes Shankarshan. From Shankarshan comes another quadruple. From Balaram comes Mahashankarshan. From Mahashankarshan comes Shankarshan, Anirudh, Pradyuman, Vasudev. Then from this Shankarshan comes Narayan. From Narayan comes Mahavishnu. And from Mahavishnu, then you will have three Vishnus. Karnodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, and Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So now, this Karnodaksha Vishnu is the Lord Swa Amsha. His glance impregnates jivas into the material nature. So then you have actually, you have Kala, and then you have jivas, karma, and swabhava. This is what I was actually saying. And then this is the material nature, that is the pradhana. So from this onwards, I'm explaining. So what happens is that when these modes are inactive, and when the Lord, he is glancing. So when the pradhan is in an inactive state, and the gunas also in an inactive state. So the three gunas, to start, they require to be agitated. In some state, they need to be agitated, these three modes. Okay. So this kala and swabhava, what they will do is they will agitate this kal and this swabhava. What they will do is they will agitate this pradhana that is there. Okay. So I hope I have a whiteboard. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. I think I got this. The spotlight, I got it. I wanted to show this only so that it becomes easy. So this kala is what is going to do. This kala, karma and subhava, what they will do is they are going to agitate this pradhan, all these three. They will agitate this pradhan and it will get the creation to start. It will get this creation to start. And then this one Lord, when he desires to become many, he desires to create the living entity, that is us. And then what did he do? He glanced at this pradhan, this prakriti or material nature is also called pradhan. And that glance consisted of Jiva Shakti, okay, and Kala Shakti. So that glance that is there, that is Jiva Shakti and Kala Shakti. So when the glance of the Supreme Lord falls on the pradhan is predominantly in the mode of goodness. He is in the Shuddha Sattva level. Okay. And it transforms into Mahat Tattva. So when the glance of the Supreme Lord falls on this pradhan, okay, pradhan is actually in the mode of goodness, and that transforms into Mahat Tattva. And this Mahat Tattva is like this open go down. Now the doors are opening. So the Mahat Tattva is like the open go down, and this go down is open now. and the materials can flow out of the go down. Okay. So that all this construction process and all can start. So further, when the glance of the Lord falls on this again Mahat Tattva also, then it transforms into Ahankar. Okay. And this Ahankar again has three parts. Sattvas, Rajas and Tamas. Okay. And this you have this Sattvic Ahankar, being inspired by the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then this will actually now, it will, what do you say, this, the Supreme Lord transfers this into mind, the 10 sense devatas over here. And then this Rajas Ahankar that is there. Okay, this Rajas Ahankar by the glance of the Supreme Lord again transforms into intelligence. You see over here, intelligence. And then the 10 senses and prana. And then this Tamas Ahankar also transforms into the 5 elements, 5 tanmatras. So, till here, what we are talking about is Karana Shrishti. And we saw this is the primary creation and the secondary creation. So, primary creation is created by Karnodakshai Vishnu over here. Okay. And the secondary creation that is there, it is done by Lord Brahma and all the other Prajapatis. So then the primary creation is divided into actually two parts. One is Karan Shrishti and the other is Karya Shrishti. Okay, so if you want to make, what do you say? What example I can give? If you want to make suji halwa, chalo. Okay. So Karan Shrishti is like, collecting all these ingredients that we need to make suji halwa. Okay, so you need suji, you need sugar, you need ghee, you need milk, you need dry fruits. So from this Karnodaksha Vishnu to the 5 elements and all these, tanmatras and, is Karan Shrishti. So once this Karan Shrishti is over, all the ingredients are ready. And then these ingredients are put together and made into actual suji halwa. And this is actually called Karan Shrishti. So how these ingredients come together and form a functioning universe, that is actually Karan Shrishti. So primary creation in itself is divided into actually 2 parts. So if you see further and further, actually it will be more explained that how these the senses ke ek senses ke devata hai. So for the ear there is Dig Devta, the eyes, the devta for the eye is Lord Surya, the devta for the skin is Vayu. That all we'll just see, but for now I'll just stop the screen and put it for a halt so that we can just go ahead with this. Okay, I'll just switch off this. So actually the next shloka will be more clearer actually. Then he's saying, see, oh, this is also very important shloka. This is actually a continuation. He's saying that Kalad guna vyatikarah parinamah swabhavatah karmano janma mahatah purushadhishtad bhutah. Yeah. So we have Priyanka, please read the translation in purport.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation. After the incarnation of the first Purusha, Karana, Karanavasai Vishnu, the Mahat Tattva or the principles of material creation take place, and then time is manifested, and in course of time, the three qualities appear. Nature means the three qualitative appearances that transform into activities. Purport. By the omnipotency
Sorry,
of
sorry.
the Supreme Lord.
Sorry. Yeah, read.
No problem. By the omnipotency of the Supreme Lord, the whole material creation evolves by the process of transformation and reactions one after another. And by the same omnipotency, they are wound up again one after another and conserved in the body of the Supreme. Kala or time is the synonym of nature and is the transformed manifestation of the principles of material creation. As such, Kala may be taken as the first cause of all creation, and by transformation of nature, different activities of the material world become visible. These activities may be taken up as the natural instinct of each and every living being, or even of the inert objects, and after the manifestation of activities, there are varieties of products and byproducts of the same nature. Originally, these are all due to the supreme laws. The Vedanta Sutras and the Bhagavatam thus begin with the absolute truth as the beginning of all creations, Janmadhyasya Yataha. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you so much. So, what constitutes the glance of the Supreme Lord? And what that glance does to Pradhana is actually described over here. So, he's saying that Kalad Guna Vyatikaraha. The gunas are agitated from a state of equilibrium. So again, I'll have to share the screen with you all so that we're able to understand. So then what happens? These gunas, okay, what is happening with these gunas? These gunas are being agitated again from a state of equilibrium by time. And in Pradhan, these gunas are inactive. See, these three modes are inactive in Pradhan. Okay. They are inactive in inactive state actually. And as long as these gunas are in an inactive creation will not happen. So therefore, by the Lord's glance, when the time element falls on the gunas, okay, what is happening? Time is falling on the gunas. So what is happening? This Kala falls on this Pradhana with the Lord's glance. And then what is happening? This Kala is also agitating the gunas. And then further, then this particular Pradhana is further transformed into this Swabhava, which means that it is a collective inclination of all the jivas karma, and by this collective action of kal, karma and swabhav, this kal, upar ka kal, okay, this wala kal, and karma and swabhava, okay. So this pradhan transforms into mahat tattva by the influence of all these, okay, mahat tattva. And all of this, what is happening, all this is happening because of what? This is happening because of the Supreme Lord's glance on them. Kal was, in all this was in dormant state. And as soon as the Lord glances, everything gets agitated. And then it starts coming into being into the proper functioning state, you can say. So at every stage of creation, the Lord's potency is needed. So here when the Lord is glancing, at Kal, Karma and Jiva, then again Pradhan. Pradhan pe bhi glance ho raha hai to Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva pe bhi glance ho raha hai to then all these three gunas also. So every stage, the Lord's glance is actually needed. This is actually what's being said over here. So let me share with you the screen back again for the 23rd shloka. He's saying that Mahatastu Vikurna Vikuvarna Draja Satvo Pabhruthitat Tama Pradhanastad Abhavat Dravya Jnana Kriyatmakah. Oh, this is also something very nice. More explanation is being given on this. And Vrinda, please read. Oh, Vrinda is not there. I'm sorry. I've got this habit of. Yeah, Vignesh Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Material activities are caused by the Mahat Tattvas being agitated. At first, there is transformation of the modes of goodness and passion, and later, due to the mode of ignorance, matter, its knowledge, and different activities of material knowledge come into play. Purport: material creations of every description are more or less due to the development of the mode of passion, Rajas. The Mahat Tattva is the principle of material creation, and when it is agitated by the will of the Supreme, at first the modes of passion and goodness are prominent, and afterwards the mode of passion, being generated in due course by material activities of different varieties, becomes prominent, and the living entities are thus involved more and more in ignorance. Brahma is the representation of the mode of passion, and Vishnu is the representation of the mode of goodness, while the mode of ignorance is represented by Lord Shiva, the father of material activities. Material nature is called the mother, and the initiator for materialistic life is the father, Lord Shiva. All material creation by the living entities is therefore initiated by the mode of passion. With the advancement of the duration of life in a particular millennium, the different modes act by gradual development. In the, as such, age of Kali, when the mode of passion is most prominent, material activities of different varieties, in the name of advancement of human civilization, take place, and the living entities become more and more involved in forgetting their real identity, their spiritual nature. By a slight cultivation of the mode of goodness, a glimpse of spiritual nature is perceived. But due to the prominence of the mode of passion, the mode of goodness becomes adulterated. Therefore, one cannot transcend the limits of the material modes, and therefore realization of the Lord, who is always transcendental to the modes of material nature, becomes very difficult for the living entities, even though prominently situated in the mode of goodness through cultivation of the various methods. In other words, the gross matters are Adhibhutam, their maintenance is Adhidevam, and the initiator of material activities is called Adhyatmam. In the material world, these three principles act as prominent features, namely as raw material, its regular supplies, and its use in different varieties of material creations for sense enjoyment by the bewildered entities.
You all are not able to see my screen. I'm so sorry.
No, we can see right now.
Oh, that time when I was showing that diagram, it was not seen, kya?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji, at that time.
What? So what was my mistake? I'll tell you. I didn't stop sharing this particular screen on the website, and I overlapped that screen. That is why I think you all were not able to see that screen. It was an overlapping of this. Okay. Means I was just wondering that why am I not able to. Now you're able to see the screen?
Yes, Mataji.
This material nature, pradhan and all?
No, can't see that.
Okay. So, two overlapping screens cannot be shared. Only one screen can be shared. So I'm just wondering, you're not able to see, no, this Ahankar, Mahatattva, this diagram that I initially shared.
No.
Okay. Now let me stop sharing the screen and maybe share the screen again. Okay, I think now you're able to see the screen, right?
Yes, Mataji, we can see now.
Okay, perfect. So, when he's saying that, this in this 23rd, did we do the 23rd shloka only, no? Just now? Yeah, 23rd shloka only. So when he's saying over here, Mahatastu Vikur Vanada. So he's saying that to transform from all transformation of this Mahatattva, okay, this Mahatattva, Rajas, Rajas Sattva, Pabru Hitata. So he's saying Mahatattva is predominantly Rajas and Sattva. But it also has Tamas also. And this Tamas portion of this Mahatattva is transformed into Ahankar. So see, let me just give me 1 minute, okay. Okay. Spotlight. Okay. So this Mahatattva, it has Satogun and Rajagun, but it has Tamogun also. So then from this Mahatattva only, whatever is this Tamogun, okay, it is transforming into Ahankar. We many times say, no, there's Ahankar is born of mode of ignorance. So it is that Ahankar. So Tama Pradhanatu. So this Mahatattva, by the glance of the Supreme Lord, every time the Lord is glancing, okay, when the Lord is glancing at Pradhana, so then when the Lord is again glancing at Mahatattva also, okay. So glances, when he's glancing again at this Mahatattva, by this glance of the Supreme Lord, then this Ahankara, which is again predominated by Tamas, it is manifesting into Dravya. So, Dravya means material ingredients: earth, air, water, fire, and ether. Okay. He's saying that Dravya Jnana Kriyatmanaha. So what is the composition of this Ahankar? He says that Dravya Shakti means Tamas Ahankar, which creates Dravya Gyan. Okay. Dravya Jnana Shakti means actually Sattvic Ahankar, which gives rise to mind, the sense devatas, and the Kriya Shakti means the Rajas Ahankar. And Kṛṣṇa also in the Bhagavad-gītā, if you remember, he says that any pravrutti is the symptom of Rajas action. So that the action is carried out by the senses, the intelligence and the prana also, because they are created by Rajas Ahankar. So this glance of the Supreme Lord has fallen on Prakriti, and Prakriti is impregnated with the Jivas and Kala. And now these three components, Kala, Karma and Swabhav, they are acting to start this process of creation. And the first thing they do is to agitate the three gunas. Okay, so three gunas again get agitated. So we'll just see with the next shloka. Thoda technical hai, but rest assured, I was hearing one lecture in the morning by His Grace Gaurang Prabhu. So he's saying that somebody was asking, what will I get by reading Bhagavatam? I don't remember what I read, 6 months back, Mataji, when you started. I've forgotten that full first canto. I've forgotten. I don't remember anything with the first canto now. So he was giving an analogy. He's giving an example. He was asking that person, saying that Are you married? He said, yes, I'm married. How long have you been married? He says, 20 years. Okay, so he's saying that, does your wife cook? He says, yeah, she cooks very nicely. I'm very happy. She cooks very wonderful. So he's asking that, do you remember 20 years back what your wife had cooked for you? He's saying, no, not possible that what my wife cooked 20 years back, how will I know? So he's saying, but are you feeling nourished? So he said, yes, definitely I'm feeling nourished. Every day I eat and I'm nourished. He's saying same way with Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam also. Whether you remember something, you don't remember something, only by the Shravan Kriya, you are being nourished from the Bhagavatam, by the Bhagavatam. And today morning also, one of our coordinators, some of you all must be knowing her, because she is my coordinator for all the other groups also, other than Priyanka. So she is the coordinator for my Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav groups also. So she was asking me that, Mataji, why do these brahmacharis, they do Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, and they say that if we do not do this Bhakti Vaibhav, we will not get seva. If we do not do Bhakti Vedanta, we will not get seva. So what is it, Mataji? Why we cannot get seva? Seva to anybody can do, whether he's not a Bhakti Vaibhav, whether he's a neophyte, whether he's a sannyasi, anybody can serve the Lord. When we are chanting, are we not serving the Lord while chanting also? So then I was actually explaining to her, I was telling her that when we are reading Bhagavatam, just as when we eat food, we feel nourished, right? When we eat food, हमारे साथ तीन चीजें होती, तुष्टि, पुष्टि, संतुष्टि, right? So similarly, when we are reading the Bhagavatam or hearing the Bhagavatam from anybody, we get nourished, our souls get nourished. And the soul, when it gets nourished, it feels tushti, pushti, santushti. It feels energetic. And this is only the key to a long-lasting relationship with Krishna. Now see, every day we invest time, right? With different relationships. Okay, you invest time with your friends, you invest time with your relatives, you invest time with your wife, with your husband, with your children. And when you are investing time, what is happening? When you're investing time, that relationship grows. That relationship becomes more condensed. That relationship becomes a more bonded relationship. So similarly, with even Bhagavatam also, when every day we are investing our time with Bhagavatam, we are actually nurturing our relationship with Krishna. And that is why I started this group only for this reason, that मेरा भी भला हो जाए, भागवतम reading से, and दूसरों का भी भला हो. Reason, that is why I started this group. Initially, we had just started with reading, but there were many devotees who said that we need some explanations also that would make sense. Though we might go a little slow, but it's okay. And that is why we started this, Bhagavatam. So, as I was mentioning, it is little technical. डरो नहीं, डर के आगे ही जीत है. So for sure, it is nurturing you and it is nourishing you. So somebody might ask that, Mataji, हमें सृष्टि की रचना से, या why should we know how the universe was created? Why don't we straight jump, to the 10th canto, pastimes of the Lord? Let's read that only again and again. But Prabhupada gives a very nice answer in this regard. He's saying that when you will read about the greatness of Krishna, you will appreciate the sweetness of Krishna, which is the 10th canto. So currently till the 9th canto, it's like a training for us, or like a nice platform for us, where when we will sufficiently read all the 9 topics of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Sarga, Visarga, Poshan, Uti, and all these. So when we will come to the 10th canto, which is actually the Ashray Tattva or the Ashray canto, then with very much awe and reverence and love, we will appreciate that particular canto. And because we have sufficiently appreciated the greatness of Krishna, now we know. In fact, when we will come to the 5th canto, you will be mesmerized that how all these islands and planets and all sar chakrayega, but still we will appreciate that what it is. And even at this point of time, there are many things which are not even clear with me also. I'm also trying to get those things cleared. But the creation part in itself is very inconceivable. It's very difficult to understand how the Lord created with this limited senses, his inconceivable energy that he has created. So don't worry, we are still, what do you say, nurturing our consciousness with that, and slowly we will definitely one day hum honge kamyab. So okay, so ahankar iti prokto vikurvan sambhuvat tridha vaikarestjasta tamasta chetit yadbhida dravya shakti kriya shakti jnana shakti ite prabhoh. So this 24th shloka has a long purport and again a long explanation also. So I feel I will explain this tomorrow. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes, Mataji.
So Priyanka has one comment. Let's read what she has the comment to ask or a question to ask. So true, Mataji. Literally, I can feel the difference in life's quality prior to this group and after joining here and reading every day, even though sometimes it goes over my head. Now I can actually relate when you mentioned this point, as I was wondering from few days that I didn't remember anything. Even I don't remember anything. Don't worry. We are sailing in the same boat. So rest be assured that we are being nurtured, because being in association with the Supreme Lord is actually being being in association with the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is actually being in association with the Supreme Lord. So definitely we will see that transformation, like how the transformation of the products of the tamas and ahankar is there, that we will also see a transformation in ourselves also. See, the very fact, imagine that we all are on one page every day we meet, and even I am trying to actually be there on a daily basis, is that only our commitment to Krishna. Now I don't know how many years it will take for us to complete Bhagavatam, maybe 5 years, 6 years, I don't know what time we will complete, but at least that we are committed to the Bhagavatam. We are committed to a relationship. And in a relationship, there are two things actually. Two things primarily in a relationship that is there. It can be with anybody, with the spiritual master, or with your wife, or with your husband, or with your parents. Anybody. There are two things required for a relationship. One is responsibility, and second is accountability. So we are accountable to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We have a responsibility towards Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. What is the responsibility that we have towards Bhagavatam? Whatever I hear, I will go and tell the others. That's my responsibility towards the Bhagavatam. Whatever line I remember, 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, whatever I remember. Because of course it's not like that the next day you forget everything. You might at least remember 2 or 3 lines. So that is my you can say this on a relationship, that I will be responsible for that relationship and I'll be accountable to that particular relationship. So definitely I can see on our forum that everybody is accountable to this particular Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And we have more entries also, like Vignesh Prabhu is also there. His friend, what is your friend's name? I just forgot actually. I think,
Vishal.
Vishal Prabhu,
Vishal, yes.
He's also there on the forum. I think he's a Gujarati fellow, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's Gujarati.
Yeah, even I am a Gujju, so I could
Oh,
immediately know that.
you'd be happy to hear.
Yeah, he'll be very happy to hear because I read his name Rajesh Bhai, and only
Yes, yes.
Gujaratis are the people who will put Bhai behind, that suffix. So then I thought he's Gujarati for sure. So this is our relationship with Śrīmad Bhagavatam. We are nurturing our relationship with Krishna. And the more we will read, the more we will fall in love with Krishna. The more we will read about his greatness, we will fall in love with him. Like today, if we hear about Modi, how we feel so happy about our prime minister, what waves is he going and doing in when he goes to America, when he goes to Russia, when he goes to Gulf countries, when he goes to London, when he goes to Australia. Recently, he went to the Australian tour, now America tour, Egypt tour. So everybody is so proud of him. And we sitting over here in India, we are also proud about our prime minister. So we sitting on this earth or in this earth planet, we should be so proud about our Krishna who is in Golok and his wonderful activities that he does. Like when we are very proud about Modi when he does, so many wonderful activities which nobody, na bhuto na bhavishyata, anybody has not done that. So of course, I'm giving a very, mundane example. I should not be giving that example, but just to make the subject matter, this, that. Mm, so, even Krishna has also done certain activities which nobody, no human being has done. Superhuman activities. Nobody can do such activities which he has done, like lifting up the Govardhan, or even the interaction with his devotees also. How he interacts with his different devotees, not only the Pandavas, but how he's interacting with Gajendra, how he interacts with Maharaj Ambarish, how he is interacting with Prahlad Maharaj, how he's interacting with Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj came with some desire to get a kingdom even bigger than his grandfather Brahma. But uh, Lord Vishnu got very much, pleased with his devotion. And when he's coming, he's not able to offer praise. His voice is choked up. So Lord Vishnu is touching that conch shell. And then immediately he starts, offering prayers, different wonderful prayers to the Supreme Lord. So this is our Krishna. This is our sweet Lord. But when will we appreciate it? When we will go through all those 9 cantos with patience and we will endure that relationship between us and Krishna, then we'll be able to appreciate the 10th canto. And then the 11th canto and the 12th canto, वो बताएंगे कि समर्पण भाव कैसे करना है, how to surrender, because again Krishna will speak Gita with Uddhava in the 11th canto. The whole of Gita he will again speak. He spoke with Arjuna, again he will speak with his dear friend Uddhava also. The 11th canto is also very, very wonderful, and again it's a philosophical. And then the 12th canto, full of devotional service, full of sweetness again of Krishna only. So the whole, if you see all those 10 cantos that are there, it's not like that if canto 1 is named as Sarga, canto 2 is as Visarga. So not that okay, the Ashray Tattva is not mentioned in canto 1 and 2. No, Ashray Tattva is also meant. It's not like that portion is not mentioned in canto 1 and 2. No, the portion is also meant. And I think I'll discuss one day all about all these 10 cantos. I'll put it on the WhatsApp group also. And what are these 10 topics of the Bhagavatam? And every canto is actually dedicated. Canto 1 is Sarga, Canto 2 is Visarga, like that. So, yeah, it is Bhagavad Subodhini. Yes. It is Bhagavad Subodhini. You can get it online also. I think it has a Kindle version also. So instead of buying the book, you can, and the Kindle version is little less expensive. I have the, the book and the Kindle version, both I have actually. So because when I studied Bhakti Vaibhav, I studied from this only book actually. Because it was giving, like, basically the Subodhini book is summary sort of a thing. want to summarize that particular verse in 2 lines. So then, it is easy. Easy summaries are there in this particular book. So yeah, devotees, sorry for taking so much time. And thank you so much for your active participation. We will meet tomorrow. So this summer camp is a little, what you say, it gets a little late, but we will surely meet. We won't skip these sessions as such. Even if you have to meet at 9:30, we'll sharp meet at 9:30. Okay. So thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavad Pranam.
Dhanwad. Dhanwad.
Hare Krishna.